welcome to Crochet by Starlight. Today we're going to be working on making a pair of these adorable toddler mittens. And these toddler mittens have a cute little button on top that opens and closes to make it easier to get your child's hand in and out of the mitten. And you're going to make two of the same and then just flip one inside out to make the other hand. So what you're going to need this morning to get started: pair of scissors, a stitch marker, blunt needle darning needle to weave in your ends. I'm using a J10 6mm crochet hook, and we're going to be using some bulky yarn. Today it's Loops and Threads Barcelona, and it's this really cute aqua and pink, a little bit of blues in there, variegated yarn. So let's go ahead, and if you don't have a copy of the pattern and would like to follow along with the pattern, it'll be in the comments box, or in the comments box, in the description box below. So you can copy and paste that into Word or just follow along with the pattern if you'd like. So we're going to get started with 16 foundation half double crochets. And if you're not sure how to work a foundation half double crochet, I don't currently have a video tutorial about it, but I will get one up shortly. But I'll kind of walk you through it in this episode. So we're going to start with a slip knot. And how I do mine is I just wrap the starting tail of my yarn around my first two fingers, hold it with my thumb, turn it around, insert my hook under the first, grab the second, and pull it through. Okay, so for a foundation half double crochet, you're basically going to be working your foundation chain and a half double crochet at the same time. So to start, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, you're going to insert your hook into that first chain, yarn over, and pull through. So now you have 3 loops on the hook. This first loop, you're going to yarn over and pull through that first loop, and that's going to create your first chain right in there. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's going to create your half double crochet. So now you have a chain underneath and a half double crochet. To work the next one, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook through that first chain stitch, yarn over, draw through. So you have your 3 hoops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through the first one to create your second chain, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops to create your second half double crochet. Again, flip it over to that chain stitch you just made, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through that first one, pull through all 3. So now you have 3 half double foundation crochets. So you're just going to keep doing that until you have 16. Okay, so just keep going along till you have 16. If you're not comfortable doing this, you can always just use a starting chain of 16. I would recommend chaining loosely or even going up a hook size or 2, because you want it to be nice and stretchy. And this will give it the stretch that it needs, because this is going to wrap around the child's wrist. So this makes it stretchy. If you just did a regular chain, you wouldn't have that kind of mobility in the stitch. So go ahead and finish your 16 foundation half double crochets, and I will meet you back to work on our first round or row. Okay, so I've got my 16 foundation half double crochets. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So to get started, on row 1, where you're going to single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then we are going to half double crochet to the end. So you'll end up with 16 total stitches for this round. So keep going to the end, and then we'll get started on row or round 2. Okay, so we've got our 16 stitches in here, 2 half double crochets and 14 half double crochets. Okay, so for row 2, we are going to chain 2, and turn. We're going to work 14 half double crochets in this round, so go ahead and work your 14. 14 half double crochets, and you're left with this little stitch, these couple stitches at the end open, and that's what you're going to want to use for your button close. So we're going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round to form a circle. Okay, then you're going to chain 1. For row 3, you're going to single crochet in the same stitch as your chain 1. And here's where you can start putting your stitch markers in so that you can kind of keep track when you're working in the round. So I'm going to place my stitch marker under my first single crochet, and then you're going to go ahead and single crochet in each stitch around. So you should have 14 single crochets when you were done with this row. Okay, so I got my 14. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and I'm going to slip stitch to join, and I'm going to chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to start row 4. Row 4, we're going to place 2 single crochets in the same stitch as our chain 1, and I'm going to place my marker on that first single crochet. I'm going to single crochet in 6. Whoops. And then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 6 single crochets to finish this round or this row. And at the end of this row, you will have 16 stitches. So if you want to do a quick count, make sure you got them all. Before you close it up, I'm going to count mine real quick. And 16. Okay, so I'm going to remove my marker, insert my hook, and slip stitch to close. That's really pretty. Okay, so we're going to start row 5. Row 5 is where we're going to start to work our thumb hole. So we're going to single crochet in the same stitch as our chain 1, place our marker. Okay, and then we are going to place a single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and we are going to place 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Then we're going to single crochet in 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and that'll be our pattern, the 3 and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 3, oops, okay, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch. So at the end of this row or round, you should have 20 stitches. Okay, so then we're not going to join. We're going to chain 1, and we are going to turn. And we are going to work row 6, row 7, and row 8 by single crocheting in each of the 20 stitches, chain 1 at the end, and turn. So row 6 and row 7, easy peasy. Row 8, there's just going to be one small little difference at the end. So go ahead, work 3 rows, row 6, row 7, and row 8. And I'll join you back so that we can finish row 8 together. So 20 stitches in the next 3 rounds or rows. And you're going to chain 1 and turn at the end of it. So this will not be joined. Okay, so I have finished row 8. And now what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch to that first single crochet. And we're going to form a circle. We're going to chain 1. So now on the next 5 rows, so row 9 through 13, you are going to single crochet in each stitch around. Chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch as your chain 1, and you're going to put 20 single crochets all the way around. So for 9, row 10, row 11, row 12, and row 13, 20 single crochets, slip stitch to join, chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch as your chain 1. And once you've got all 5 of those rounds done, I will meet you back up. Alrighty, how'd you do? So did you get to row 13? So I just finished row 13, did my little slip stitch to join the row. Going to chain 1, start row 14. Single crochet in the same stitch as our chain 1. And then we are going to place, let's see, single crochet, same stitch as chain 1, single crochet in 2 more. And then we are going to single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then single crochet 2 together. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet 2 together. 1, 2, and 3, and single crochet 2 together to finish the round. So we're going to slip stitch to join, and at the end of this round you should have 16 single crochets. So for our 15th and final row, we are going to single crochet. We chained 1, single crochet in the same stitch as our chain 1. We're going to put 1 single crochet, and then we are going to single crochet 2 together, 2 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, 2 more single crochets, single crochet 2 together, 2 single crochets, and then single crochet 2 together to finish the round. You will have 12 single crochets. We're going to slip stitch to join, and then that's the end of that mitten. We're going to go ahead and cut our yarn. I'm going to pull that yarn all the way through. I'm going to thread my needle. Thread my needle. If I can do that, let's see. I'm going to have to cut that tip just a little bit so I can get a better one. There we go. Thread our needle, and then we are going to just kind of line that up for our stitches, and then just go through those stitches on the top like so to cinch them up. Okay, and then you're going to pull that, go back and forth through the top of those, There you go. Cinch that up. One more time. Cinch that up. Okay, so that's our mitten. And then you're just going to want to weave in your tail. Now, for left and right mittens, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make one just as is. Add the thumb. We're going to get to the thumb in a minute, which is our thumb hole here. You're going to want to make one just as is. And you're going to want to make one, turn it inside out, and then you got the other side. So I'm just going to finish off this, cut my yarn off. And that's done. So we're going to take our yarn and we're going to start working on our thumb piece now. For our thumb, you're just going to want to, you have our opening here. There's our opening. You're just going to want to take your hook and insert it into any stitch along the side of that thumb. Pull it through. Chain one and single crochet in that same stitch. And you're going to want to place 7 more single crochets along that thumb opening. So just all the way around, just place 7 more. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll put a 7th one in here. Okay, so you'll have a total of 8 single crochets around. Slip stitch that to join. Actually, yeah, we'll slip stitch that to join, okay? So for the next 5 rounds, you're just going to keep putting 8 single crochets, and you're not even going to need to slip stitch for the next row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll do our first one and the next one. 1, 2, oops, I need some more yarn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and our final round. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so there's your little thumb. Cut your yarn, draw that tail through. Whoops. Get your needle, thread your needle. See, hopefully this one threads a little easier. There we go. And the same thing, you're going to just cinch it up. Like so. Okay. Go back and forth through the top of those stitches. Cinch. Back and forth through the top of those stitches. Cinch, and then hide your tail in there. Okay, cut it off, and then you're going to weave in this end and this end, and we will attach a button and finish it off. Now again, if this was going to be your second glove, you'd want to turn this inside out. If you'd prefer to make this your second glove so you can hide some of these edges, that's fine. We can turn that inside out. And when you make your second one, just make sure you turn it inside out, sew up all your stitches, and then turn it right side out to finish your glove. So there you go. Okay, there's our mitten. I'm going to sew in this tail, add a cute little button, and I'll be right back. Okay, there you go. I added a cute little pink button to that. I'm going to go work on the mate to this glove or this little mitten. If you like this pattern and want it in a bigger size, all you have to do is start with a larger foundation chain and then maybe add a row in here and a few rows in here to make the fingers longer, add more rows to the thumb, and you can leave your thumb opening a little larger, obviously to accommodate for a bigger mitten, but it wouldn't be very difficult at all to adapt it to a larger size. For a smaller mitten, you could easily change it without even having to worry about stitch count by just using a medium weight 4 worsted weight yarn, or even a thinner 3 baby weight yarn, or even a smaller 2 sock weight yarn, fingering weight yarn, something like that, and a smaller hook size, and that'll get you a much smaller mitten. You can line these so that they're nice and warm, maybe put some fleece in there, wouldn't be that challenging to do. But that's our mitten. I'm going to make, like I said, the matching pair for him or for her. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Click that bell button to be notified when new videos become available. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please feel free to leave me a note in the comment section below. As I've stated before, the full pattern is available in the description